Kim Wilkinson is passionate about food, about people and experiences. And by her own admission, she doesn't see herself as a qualified food expert, but as somebody who's been able to combine her interests and her skills to establish a work that allows her to do what she loves. Welcome, Kim. Lovely to talk to you.
Thank you.
Now, Kim, you say you're not a food expert. I don't think you want to be...
No.
I mean, we live in such a food paradise for some of these experts. But you have become recognised as a food critic, and in Greater Western Sydney in particular.
That's right.
How did that come about?
I'm a marketer by nature, and just really involved in social media, and I love food. And it was a time when I was sort of in the status quo with work, and God said to me, what do you want to do? Why don't you find something you're really passionate about that's just a bit more than a hobby that you can do and really enjoy? And I do love food, and I love living in Western Sydney, and I saw a bit of a gap there where nobody was talking about the fact that there is good food in Western Sydney, and so I started promoting it on social media and blogging about it.
And look, there is plenty. We don't want to promote our city because we're all over Australia and Europe, but Western Sydney has such a place for different cultures. And
it is very multicultural.
It's a melting pot of fun,
right.
really, isn't it?
So the variety of food in Western Sydney is quite... more than a lot of Australia, but also in Australia we do have such great fresh produce and just delicious food and great people making it.
Tell me a little bit about the marketing skills, the media, the work you've done there that helps you then to move on to what we should talk about in a minute.
Yeah, so I have come from a media background. I've had about 20 years in media. 14 of those I've spent at the local Christian radio station, Hope 103.2, and marketing manager.
What was it, Hope 103?
That's Hope 103.2. Tune in. And yeah, and of course the explosion of social media, the web.
Yes.
Been very involved in that, and so I enjoy learning about that, but also using it as a broadcast medium as well as radio.
So tell me then now more specifically about Go West Gourmet.
Yeah, so as I said, started with this concept of let's share with more people, my friends and family, and anyone else who'll listen, that there's this wonderful food in Western Sydney, and a Western Sydney newspaper started to take notice, and I would write reviews for the newspaper. And then after a while, they decided that they'd like to take that on full term, and so they created a website. I'm their editor, and every week we put up either a story about what's happening food-wise in Western Sydney, or definitely a review on a great place that you
What's good about it? Why did you do it, and what do you see the purpose of it as?
I think what's good about it is it didn't exist. People just didn't have a good opinion of what food was like in Western Sydney, and so my passion was to change those perceptions. And as a marketer, you want to get the truth out there, you want to tell people what is really happening, and I think that's what's good about it, that it's changing people's minds about eating in Western Sydney.
And as Christian people, we want to be committed to cultural diversity too. And is this a good area in which we can promote that?
It's a fabulous area to do that. I mean, Australia generally has some great multicultural food, but my goodness, Western Sydney, it's everything from Middle Eastern to Vietnamese to Nepalese and everything in between that we're quite used to. It's just a melting pot. And what's great is that the food scene, particularly in Sydney, is growing, and people are fusing different foods, and so we're just constantly getting new varieties.
How many restaurants have you actually reviewed?
It's well over 50, which is probably not a lot, but I haven't been doing it for that long. So.
If they see you come through the door then, what do they think?
Well, some know, some don't. I can be a bit stealth sometimes, so if they know, they're certainly on their game.
Look, and at this time of the year, as we begin to think about Advent and Christmas, they get very, very much busier, and people spend time with each other over a meal. How important for you is your Christian faith to what you're doing?
I guess for me, I think God's created you to do something, and something that you're good at. And to me, it's just that He created me to write and to promote, and I love eating. So it's when you do something that you love, I think God is glorified in that. And so that's the connection there. But definitely eating out is such as you said, it's a connector. of people. It unifies people, whatever culture you are. It can really bring people together, and I just think that's an amazing thing to connect people.
I mean, that moment when Jesus said to Zacchaeus, come down from that tree, I'm coming to your house. Coming to your house for a meal. I mean, that's a phenomenal statement, isn't it, really?
But that's an exciting thing for most people to feel, oh, I can welcome you. Hospitality is pretty much in everybody's DNA. And I think, that would have been a very exciting moment.
And finally, how important is food to you as you begin to plan for Advent and Christmas?
I do like to have a couple of traditional dishes, or traditional for me, but making it more Australia-fied in that a lot of our traditional Christmas food is made for a Northern Hemisphere climate. So I do like to have things that are cooler. So if we have our roasted vegetables, I like to put them in a salad. If we have our pudding, I actually like to make that an ice cream cake version of that. But more than that, I think it is the getting together with your friends, your family, your work colleagues. Everybody's calendar gets very booked out, and it's a good thing because we use this time to make sure that we have that connection with the people that we love and care about, and we usually do it over food.
Thanks ever so much, Trish. So it's a bit more than turkey on the beach this Christmas. It's about actually trying to connect with people. In the lead up to Christmas, how important is not just the meal, but the sharing of it with family and friends?
It's very important. It's a wonderful time to celebrate the birth of our Saviour and each other, as we just really care about each other from the year that's passed and the year that's ahead. It's really important to take that time.
Will you have family with you on Christmas Day?
Absolutely.
Yeah, well, have a great Christmas Day.
Thank you, too.
And at Wesley Mission, we like to think that one of the ways you can celebrate it is by having an empty chair at your table that you fill with someone who might be on their own, who might not have the resources to have all the things that go for Christmas. You make their Christmas as you start to prepare for Advent and you make your plans. Invite people to share with you. Please don't hesitate to write, to be in touch if you've got any questions or comments that have arisen from today's programme. Or if you'd like to have any more information about our work in any way. Our email address and website, again, is impacttv@wesleymission.org.au, wesleymission.org.au. I hope you enjoyed hearing from Kim Wilkinson and the thoughts from Jesus and Pilate. Do join us next week for another episode of Wesley Impact. Thank you and God bless you.